Oh, hello everybody. I'm Steve from Mac84 and welcome to another belated live stream. I almost went like a month without doing these. How about that? Hi. Back here doing a thing, trying to fix a thing that I thought I already fixed. It's computers for you. Anyway, how's everyone doing? Let's see who's in the chat. We have Joe's Computer Museum. We have Jordan. We have Tevrudin. We have Trina. We have Thomas. We have Sam. Chris is here. Eric Helgeson is here. Bruce at Brangus Creations is here. Thomas B is here. We have Userlandia is here. Hello, Userlandia. Retrotech Tom is here. Gutbomb is here. Jax Mac Attack. Rodville. Retrofox. Retrotech Tom. DJ Mike is here. We have Ian Scott. We have... Chat's moving. Callan, Saul is here. Aaron is here. Devin is here. Matthew's here. All right. Got a bunch of people. Hello. So, yeah. I've been busy. Just with, like, not work, not this type of stuff. Life and junk. Let me know if the microphone's okay. It looks like it's peaking. I did set the microphone to high, but if it's peaking and it's too high, let me know. Especially when I talk like this, and I will lower it. I can't hear what I'm doing, so yay. Yeah, mic sounds fine. Okay, well, I'll just try not to yell or sing too loudly. Alright, cool. So, what the heck are we doing here today? Let me pop out the chat so I can actually read it on the other side of the screen, because, you know, I haven't done this in a long time. Yeah, last live stream was end of July or something like that. There we go. Sorry, my Mac Pro 2012 is being a little bit chunky today. I don't know why. Hey, Shoalfox. Mr. Tech Gadget. Anybody else I forgot to say hello to? Hello. My joy, I have it muted right now. A big help you are, Bruce. But I am running an old Mac here, for those of you who don't know. It's a mid-2012 Mac Pro. It's a dual 3.0 gigahertz 6-core Xeon with 38 gigabytes of memory, a Radeon Pro WX 4100 with 4 gigabytes of RAM, video memory, and of course I just read that off the screen, because how could I remember such things anymore? Brain bad. What is the red PC on the floor? That's an old Pentium 4 that used to belong to my brother, and it is currently a case to hold up that Dell, which is sometimes a server, which is currently off. I was about to say it better be off. Alright, so what the heck are we doing here today? Well, last stream I did was about this. Macintosh SE30. You can't see the board because it's there, and I don't have fancy cameras, and this place is littered with junk. A few things are going on. Shed progress. I'm getting a shed in our backyard, and that's been going on since like last year or maybe even before that. Finally, hopefully having somebody come in within the next week or so to put down a concrete slab, and then a shed's getting delivered. So all this clutter hopefully will find a place. Yeah. So, yeah. And very excited for that, but it also has meant that I can't move like anywhere in here. Like, There's a 5400 here. That's part of a Performa. There's Mac Classics all over the place. There's a lot of crap on the floor. There's no space. So yeah, I don't think the Wi-Fi will reach to the shed, and the shed's not going to have power or anything for a long time. It's going to be strictly a storage shed. I'm not doing an 8-bit guide type thing, at least right off the bat, where that's going to be my studio, because this is my studio. It's indoors. There's electricity. I don't have to worry about bugs or anything really like that. So can't play shuffleboard anymore. Needs more space. Exactly. Mike will make it fit. If I have to start digging, we'll dig. But that's one thing that's been going on. Yard sale time. How about you come over and I fill your car with crap? A few other things, like this table here has just been the projects table. There's a Next machine on there. There's this HP Vector on there. There's Sega stuff on there. It's just no space for anything. So once I get some of this crap out of the way, I'd love to repurpose some of this space. And every time I move my camera, it loosens. So yeah, anyway. Don't threaten me with a good time. Come on, Tom. Come get your questionable G5 Power Max. Come on. Come on. Mike has a good idea. Anyway, so other things I've been working on. I have a revision for that Edge connector PCB for the Performa and Color Classic series that you plug into where the Edge connector is, and it gives you a SCSI port. Still working on some of that stuff because I need to do another run of those PCBs to try and make that fit better. But that sort of led me to something I was working on recently. So I think it was at least a year or so ago. Userlandia here in the chat sent me a Macintosh TV of theirs to fix up for them. And it never really worked for them. And so I did a recap on it. Of course, it was still dead. I'm thinking, oh, great. What the heck? And for those of you not familiar with those machines, those are all-in-one machines. So it's sort of like a Color Classic or a Performa 550. The Mac TV has a little door on the side. You remove that, and the whole logic board comes out. In fact, here's my Macintosh TV board that has seen better days. And so there's this Edge connector here that slides out of the all-in-one chassis. And that connector on the edge connects to the monitor, the speakers, the microphone, all the power, and all that stuff. Problem is, if you have a problem with that board, you don't have much space when it's plugged into that chassis to diagnose. You'd have to solder lead wires to things, and it's a mess. So who the heck would want to do that? So my good friend John of Big Bad Biologist, Big Bad Bench, I'm surprised I said that correctly, built a test chassis for his Performa 550-ish series, but he used the original CRT and analog board. And I don't have a spare CRT and analog board, but I have a spare harness. And by wiring harness, I mean this thing. So this was taken out of one of those machines and has all the wires, and you can see that this is quite a bit of a mess. However, there's a reason for this madness here, and there's a method behind it. Because the idea here, if I could get this, there we go, display correctly, is that all of this plugged into this header with some questionable soldering and creative ingenuity here, will let me plug in a Color Classic or a Performa series or a Mac TV series type machine and test it and actually be able to probe it while it's on and see what's going on, if a signal is going to something or whatever. So exactly. So they're all the same Edge connector except for the 580. I think the power's on the other side, like the Performa 630 and whatever. But this will help me diagnose a large majority of machines. And I also have like a 550 or a Classic 2 board or something like that that's just not happy. So this will help me with that. But I did post a thread on Tinker Different about it, and it's not 100% yet. There's still a lot of things that are just not working with it. And let me give you an example here, because I can actually... hold please. Where's the... No, wrong one. See what happens when you don't stream for a while? all my resources are just labeled miscellaneous things in OBS. So what I'm going to show you is sort of how this works. So I have an ATX power supply plugged into this Color Classic board. This Color Classic board is actually from Colin of This Does Not Compute. I fixed it up for him and wanted to do some tests on it before I sent it back. We have blue SCSI plugged in here, and when I apply the power to this ATX power supply, our video scaler is getting a signal. Now it's going to go a bit wonky just for a little bit here, but we do have a light on the blue SCSI, which tells us we do have power because we don't have audio plugged in. That is something I'm still trying to figure out. Anybody who's watched Adrian's Digital Basement knows of all the grounding things with the audio. But look at that. We got a picture. And it's a bit of a sad picture. It happens sometimes with the grounding. There it goes. But we have a freaking picture that we're actually capturing. Let me try and move this a little bit here. There we go. Now, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but we do have a color classic with a screen that's outputted. Oh, Tom, we'll get to that in a second. And so you can see this is a color classic desktop. If I go to About This Macintosh, it says it's a color classic. Now, the thing is, I wired up this video signal in a very rudimentary way. There are sense lines on that edge connector that tell it what type of a monitor it's plugged into, whether it's a color classic or 500 series or 520 or whatever. So I just have to figure out which those sense lines are. It is labeled in the schematic, but I was more concerned about getting any life out of this at all. So this is actually perfectly fine for right now, because right now, after I did some work on the Mac TV, I was on Dave's Vintage Apple Tech stream on Sunday. Spent about, not exaggerating, about 7 hours with a Macintosh TV. And Amiga of Rochester was a big help. Jason was a big help of just trying to figure out what is working and what is not. And it looks like the CUDA chip is working, but it's also doing some weird stuff. So if we force it to power on by lifting a trace and grounding something as it starts up, we get a sad Mac chime. But that's better than anything, because we weren't getting anything out of the board. But that sad Mac chime only happens when the Mac TV board is in the Performa 550 chassis, which is on the other side of the basement. And every time you pull a board in or out of that thing, you risk a little component falling off. A little resistor fell off the back of this Color Classic board. This is a mess. So I would like to get the sound working on this, but there's a whole grounding network of things, and then the amplifier for the speakers is actually in the analog board. So the only circuitry on here is digital and probably not powered or amplified or anything. So the whole idea would be to get sound working, then I can confirm if that sad Mac chime is happening on the Mac TV when it's on the bench, and then we can go from there. So very early days. Just wanted to give a quick update about something I posted on Tinker Different a few days ago. The big thing is that you will need this edge connector, and right now that you have to buy parts or scour parts for one of these systems. The good news is that because of Spindler Plastics, a lot of this stuff is just deteriorated, and they get destroyed during shipping or whatever, and there might be parts that you could find. This harness was something that I got in December. Someone sold me half of a Performa, and that was the only part I needed. So all we're trying to do now is the big stretch here is to figure out how do I get consistent sound, not only for the Color Classic, but the 550 and similar models out of this test harness, and we'll go from there. But I am very excited that it at least turns on. I can control the power. I got VGA working, and the system operates pretty normally, just no sound. Yeah, so I have been playing around with that. So I have this powered speaker right here, and I was attempting to ground that audio cable either from the sound jack or this very thin red cable, which you can't see because I'm scaled down so much. That's going right into the left or the right output from the sound chip. So there is a way here to do something, but it's, yeah. Hello, Max. Welcome. Tell people how you made it make consistent sound for testing. The consistent sound for testing is me just cursing at it, I think, right now, Gupam. But yeah. So anyway, that's what we're doing now. But oh yes, how I was going to test it was Flight Simulator, and that's why this is on the desktop. Because as Adrian of Adrian's Digital Basement did, great idea, is load up an app or something on startup that'll just make sound, and I made Flight Simulator on. But yeah. Well, the problem is, as I mentioned before, if you plug sound into the sound jack, it assumes it's grounded, and these systems are grounded on a plane that's under it, which goes through the analog board, and there's an amplifier and all that stuff. Without that all tied together perfectly, you're not going to get sound out of it. Now, I just have to figure out where to bridge what or whatever, and yeah, but it's early days, so just providing a quick update. Literally just hacked this together over a few days, but that was something that I'm going to be continuing with, because I do have that Macintosh TV I'd love to get fixed. It's been here way too long, and I feel real bad about it. But some of these things, unfortunately, have hidden issues. It's not just capacitors. So, all right, I'm going to shut this system off now, and going to unplug the mouse, and we're going to get to what we're supposed to be working on today. Well, thank you, RetroFox. Appreciate it. What we're supposed to be working on today is a Macintosh SE30. Now, this was a new old stock part that Mark of Mac Effects got, and by new old stock, I mean new old Apple stock. This was a board that came in an Apple service part box. Put that over there for now. And what's so cool about it is it was in pretty darn good condition, even though some of the caps leak and there was some weird corrosion in some areas. However, we did get it to work on the last stream, and then it was a bit sad. So we ultrasonically cleaned it, and now it's doing exactly what it was doing before, which is SEMA CMAC. So we're going to try and fix that up. It's probably just some dirt or grime somewhere. But oh, well, you're very welcome there, Dan. He'll make it up at PCF. I would like to get the darn thing fixed. You know me, I'm very stubborn. We still got a few years to go. That Quadra 840 AV only took me, what, 5 or 6? One last thing I want to show is this is the PCB I was referring to. This is meant for the SCSI edge connector, but the pitch is the perfect size to hit every other pin, which thankfully was the pins that I needed for the video output. So you can see I soldered together both sides to grab the video out signal. This is very, very, very finicky because I had to cut a slot in the plastic just to fit this in because the PCB was wider. Either that or cut the PCB. And then you can't really see it, but I numbered all of the pins just so I could understand what I was soldering to. And now we have our little DB connector here for the VGA out. This is very temporary. If I breathe on it, it stops working. So, yeah. But again, this is all very temporary. We do have an LED from the front panel that does tell us when the system is on. So, early days, but I am very excited about getting something working. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, for over a year or two, actually. So, I'm very happy to have made some progress on that. And we all have a breakaway little ATX cable here, because this is just powered by a regular power supply. So, I could just do this, if I can do the clip properly. And then we don't have to worry about taking the power supply off the desk, or we could use that for another project. We don't have to worry about cutting things or anything like that. I like to keep things modular if possible. Okay, sorry, just catching up on the chat here. Hey, Rudy, how's it going? Here's the rest of the Mac TV is fine. It boots up when I put my Color Classic board into it. Thank goodness. Keep running with the ADB circuit chip. Yeah, there's something going on with the ADB there, and I honestly have to watch Dave's stream to remember some of it. But basically, the ADB signal, when I hold down the power key on the keyboard, it's you could see some of it on the CUDA chip, but it's not making its way to the edge connector. So there's something between the CUDA chip and the edge connector that there's something not going on there. Because when we bridge that to force the machine to start up, that's when we get a sad Mac. So it's doing something. So, will you be willing to test my prototype? Rudy, that is on the list. We're talking about before shed and after shed right now. Because right now, the only reason I accepted this repair is because it was a quite urgent one by Mark of Mac Effects, who's a good friend of mine, known him for many, many years. And he needed a Macintosh SE30 board to go into one of his clear cases for VCF Midwest. And he realized he didn't have any working ones. And so he's asked around, and I was the only one to accept this. But SE30s are a bit of a trick. Let me put one on the desk. 1 second here. But I don't think, Rudy, this will need yours just yet. Hopefully we don't need that anytime soon. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. But Rudy did send me something really cool, an Apple II little board that's going to be very helpful in future testing of my Apple II systems as well. So that's something I want to play around with. Again, working on a lot of stuff right now that, unfortunately, is going to have to wait until probably after VCF Midwest. But hopefully once I get the shed going, I'll have some more space and some more time, but we'll see what happens. Work has been pretty crazy anyway. So, alrighty. Color Classic boards on my too. Apple the full 640. Oh, nice. Yeah, as long as the sense pin goes, I think the sense things detect the resolutions. It should be fine. So nice meeting you at Long Island. Oh, hey, how's it going? I hope so too, my friend. Yes, I visited a Long Island Retro over the weekend. Before that, I visited Otakon in Maryland. So it's been a week. And so Long Island Retro, I just hopped there on Saturday. Met a few folks, some of them in the chat, and LGR was there, and a few other folks were there. Very, very nice to catch up with everybody. I bought some goodies. I did take some footage. Not sure if I'll do a video because by the time I get that together, no one's interested in the event anymore. So. Let's lift this camera up because the microscope is banging into it. And we're going to talk about what the heck is going on with this board. Perfect timing, RetroFox. So, for those of you who missed the last live stream, this is a new old stock board, and it had disgusting corrosion all over it. And we replaced the caps, and it booted up just fine after some light noodling. And so this just came out of the ultrasonic cleaner this morning, and my intention was to mail it back this morning, or this afternoon, but I'm seeing some creepy crawlies on here, just some green and little corrosion bits. That really should not be causing our problem, because we're getting a SEMA CMAC, which is the zebra stripes patterns. Where's my toothbrush? Here it is. That you get when something just is not resetting or continuing correctly. So after you do an ultrasonic clean, this has been rinsed off, but there is always just a little bit of gunk left behind it. And this is where I am curious here, because the last time we took one of these systems, we took this off of the bench and we powered it on. We had some problems with the SEMA CMAC, and then I literally took this toothbrush, scrubbed against the row of UE8 chips and so on, which is notorious for having problems, and the thing booted up fine. So I'm thinking that we have one of those chips either is not making a connection or has to be replaced or whatever. So we will figure that out. My goodness, 60 people, and so yeah, we need more likes here. Smash that like button, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, your prototype for the SE30, Rudy, would be very helpful in situations like these. Very helpful indeed. I am so behind on a lot of stuff. I have a lot of little side projects going on, so I do apologize if I am just super delayed. It's just how I am right now. So doesn't always mean well, the checkerboard is a different problem. That's not what we're experiencing here. Yeah, sorry, let me catch up on the chat here. Yeah, the retro show was fun. That's right. You were there as well, DJ Mike. It was a lot of cool things to see. A lot of consoles on display I've never saw before, which is really neat. Hey, Tech Ambrosia. Sorry I didn't see you there. Hey, MMM Linux. Hello, hello. Sorry, I'm slow today. Just today. Oh boy. Okay, all right. So we're gonna take a look here under the microscope. This is after ultrasonically cleaning it. We're going to probe those in a second. I just want to take a tour around the board. Yeah, because see, some of this gunk and stuff, I don't think any of this is conductive, but it's just some residue from the ultrasonic cleaning process, either to detergent, and look at that, there was a little blob of solder that probably floated around from something, so who knows, it could have been even something quite simple. But unfortunately, I did not have the time today during work to do anything other than pop it on the test chassis, take a look with my eyes, and realized, yeah, this needs more work. So we're going to give it the full look over today and make sure it's okay. Hulk smash! Oh boy. But working on quite a few little projects with some other creators. My good pal Bruce recorded something for one of my videos that I have to release sometime soon. I recorded something for my friend Ken. You'll see one of his videos hopefully soon with a little funny thing. So it's been busy. I've been a busy bee with not much to show for myself, which always seems to happen. But hopefully everybody's doing okay. Sorry I have not streamed or released anything in quite a long time, but you know. Stuff happens. But look how clean this board is. I mean, literally, the aspects of this thing are spotless. Absolutely spotless. Other things, I don't know. But, I mean, really not looking too bad for something that is much older than it looks. What's interesting is, although this was a new old stock board, sorry, my camera's a bit out of focus, these fuses look like they actually have old fuses in there that were clipped out at some point. I would not be surprised at all if this board was like a refurbished one or something like that. Let me see if I can adjust the focus here slightly. Yeah, it's, yeah, because, I mean, there's clear signs that things were clipped off of this. Like, you don't solder fuses here and then just clip them off. That's not something you would normally do. And it's not just there. It's all throughout the board. So the SCSI fuse right here. And so on. Hey, Sleepy, how's it going? So yeah, this is, you know, new old stock. Yeah, I'm sure it is. But what Apple actually considered new? You know, did this just pass the tests? And they're like, whatever, it's a service part. Just ship it out. If there's a problem, we'll replace it. You know, so. Oh, yep. That's always fun when you get a solder bridge or a little bodge or a little ball of solder floating around and causing a problem. Now, I'm just curious. We didn't do too much, but we did clean some crap out of this. I'm just going to plug it in, just see make any difference. It probably won't, but you know. The Doc's alive! It's 1885, but he's alive! He's in the old West, but he's alive. That's what the quote is. All right. So we have our little test harness here. It's just sitting next to an SE30. And we're going to see if we still get the CMAC. I'm pretty sure we will. It helps if the power strip is on. No chime, so I expect the CMAC. Now that's exactly what we get. All right. No surprise there. Back to the drawing board. Ugh. Factor a second. All right. So. I suspect it would be this chip right here that maybe something is just not quite connecting to. Could be this one too. And why? Because there's this capacitor here. And there's also a lot of... And you can't see what the crap I'm doing. Sorry. There's also a lot of little gunk there by that chip, which I neglected to clean just now. And you'd be surprised, even the littlest bit of gunk on some of these systems can cause problems. And the SE30 is sort of notorious for this CMAC problem because it doesn't necessarily tell you what the problem is. It just means there's a problem. And a lot of people go, oh, that definitely means it's this, or that definitely means it's that. Well, mostly they're wrong because it could mean a whole number of things. Now, there are culprits. There are things that are often found with these machines, and if you take one of these capacitors and you draw a little radius around it and expand further and further, you will see where things become problematic. For example, if we zoom in here, really? All right, fine, we'll go the other way. Do this, and then... Oh, that's right, I raised the microscope up. Did I? No, I thought I put it back. Anyway, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. There we go. You could see some of those rings right next to that chip are a little bit corroded. So, yeah. We could use some careful investigation here. And there is still some like little gunk and stuff under those chips, even after the ultrasonic cleaning. So my gut tells me there's just some nastiness going on, which is fine. We will touch that up. And I do have replacement chips if we need it. Sometimes the chips aren't bad. It's just a really bad connection with old, poor, crummy solder in it and so on. Let me adjust this. Sorry, the microscope was having a mind of its own there for a second. All right, something is going on here. Why? There we go. All right, sorry about that. Let's see what's so wrong with this one. Oh. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off one of these chips. Actually, I'm very curious just after scrubbing that if this springs to life. Wouldn't that be nice? I doubt it, but you never know. Heard the speaker pop at least. But still no change. Oh boy. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna take off UE8, followed by UD8. So we're gonna get my hot air gun here. Turn that on, and I'm gonna put a bunch of flux around here. And so Bruce has done a lot of videos on SE30s, and so is my friend Joe of Joe's Computer Museum. Wow, this is tilted actually. Hold on. Let me get this a bit better. No, I think the camera's going to be slightly out of focus, and that's just the way my setup is. So apologies. Maybe when I have some time, I'll clean up everything so it's not as crap. But yeah, we sort of have like sharpness on the left and out of focus on the right. But for the purposes of this video and live stream, I think we'll manage. But Bruce has done a bunch of these things, and really, there's each one has its own problems. No two are the same, unfortunately. Just when you think you're like, oh yeah, this one will be easy, they have a tendency to be like, oh well, I'm going to show you something new. All right, so we're going to turn this on. I'm going to set my air about 70. Put this about 350 or so. Hopefully the lights don't turn off, because that has happened before. And unfortunately, you will not be able to see what I'm seeing with the microscope because, well, I just have to be very careful. Yeah, it's probably best if I do this way. Sorry. We're two mice on my thing. This is an ADB mouse. I cannot use that to control the stream, no matter how far I try. Alright, so. I do have one of those 90-degree nozzles for the hot air station. It's somewhere. I'll get to it. I did not reseat those, but I can certainly try. I am just curious what's under this anyway, because I do not want to send this back to Mark and then realize after it's like being used for several hours that something goes wrong with it, you know. But we will cross every T and dot every I, as it were. Alright, that chip has been removed. Now we can take a look under the microscope again and see what's going on there. We do have a lot of crud, actually. Again, microscope, why are you doing this to me today? Steven hasn't used me in a while. Time to act up. Alright, we're lowering the microscope because something obviously is amiss here. Alright. There. That'll be it. Found two boxes. A box of 2 educational software management. One is for archive, just the cost. Please send me an email, Apples Anonymous, and we'll be in touch to make sure I don't already have anything like that. Do not want to waste anyone's time or money if it's something I already have in a box somewhere. But that's very kind of you. Thank you. I always love archiving and documenting that sort of stuff. Email is in the community or the About tab somewhere on YouTube, but it's Mac84TV@gmail.com. So if you need to contact me, Mac84TV@gmail.com. But yeah, let's look at some of this. In fact, let's get one of these little cotton buds here. Oh, neat. I would certainly like to take a look at those. All right, yeah, so we do have a lot of crud here. Nothing too terrible, but like nothing amazing either. So So, certainly clean that up. It could have also just been something in there was just touching and it was unhappy. So I'm going to take this one off next because this one was also right next to that capacitor. So we're going to take both of the chips off. And see what's going on. Awesome. Thank you so much, Apples Anonymous. That is very, very kind of you. You know, I do have quite a few people that do reach out about this sort of stuff, whether it's archiving something or you know, they don't know what to do with something. And 9 times out of 10, I do my best when I have the time, obviously, to just try and find a home for it, whether it's through me or somebody else. I know a lot of people are looking for a lot of things, so a lot of people will help me when I'm trying to find stuff. So the least I could do is return the favor. Alright, that chip has also been removed. Let's see underneath. Not too bad. But we'll be able to test to make sure everything is making the connection as it is before we consider putting any of those chips back on. Or just replacing them. We could simply replace them. But really not looking too bad. I was expecting worse. Now I can see like a little bit of crud like here. Hopefully we don't have to take this chip off. We might have to. I'm going to switch to the scalpel that actually has part of a blade here. Of course, it's always like right next to a component or a capacitor or something. Really? Come on. Oh, you capacitor. Did not bother to replace these capacitors because they tend not to need replacing. Might end up doing it anyway, but yeah, I'm hitting into the top of the microscope here, which is not helpful. Let's try to do it from the side. That way my tool is not hitting up against the lens of the microscope. Yeah, that's good. Let's just take that off for the heck of it, you know. Anyway, what did you laser cut, Francois? I'm curious. Is that something Apple related? It is something Apple related. Now I'm curious. Hey, Starbuck, how's it going? Enzo, hello. Anybody else? Hello, hello, hello. Anyone I missed? Hi. Alright, so that chip has been removed. That's not too bad under there. There's some gunk. I've seen worse. But anyway, we're going to clean all that up. Speaking of cleaning up, I got to clean out this microscope. So we're going to turn on our soldering iron. Try and clean this up a little bit. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Feels like a Monday to me, but need more flux. What am I thinking? just want to clean these up a little bit. Yeah, now I just want to inspect things very closely to make sure there's nothing that's broken in between. When do you run out of chips to remove? Hopefully not anytime soon. So everything else looks pretty good here. There is a very wee baby tiny solder ball in here. I mean, honestly, if that stays where it is, it's not going to cause any trouble, but we do like to remove them when we can. That's a tiny one. That's a wee baby. I don't think any of my tweezers could even get that. No. Try these. Nope. Oh, there's a little one in there too. Gonna need a pin or something. Don't think I have anything on hand that is that tiny to fit in there. Just hold it upside down and pray. Trina, try and behave in the chat. Getting everybody all riled up. There's 2 solder balls in that one. That's fun. And there's one floating over there. Well, we're going to try and wick some of those out anyway. So, there's a wee solder ball in there. Trust me. Trust me. So let's we have to clean these out anyway, so might as well. Yeah, we got that solder ball out. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I don't believe these systems can work without these chips, which is why you see that CMAC. Otherwise, I'd plug it in just to give it a test go. Let's get the old multimeter here. You're never sorry, Trina. Just admit to that. The sooner you could admit to that, the sooner we could all move on. All right. Beep, 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 beep time. All right. So let's take a look here. Just making sure that all these pads are going where they're supposed to be going. This one, looks like we have a wee bit of a break. Again with this microscope. What the hell, man? Hold on. I think... What am I doing here? What do I have wrong? Is this the set? Like, did I accidentally... loosen this so it can't go any further or something? Because I used to be able to get really in there. Yeah, let me lower this a little bit. Hey, Eric! He is back! Alright, let's lower this more. Alright. Yeah, there we go. I suspect that's a break right there. I suspect it is. And we could confirm this. We have the technology, folks. Yeah, that looks like a break to me, but it also could still be connected. Because these boards, they love throwing us for a loop, folks. Just to show you how tiny this is the edge of my scalpel that is broken off. But you could see, that is very, very tiny. But it's new old stock! It's an Apple service box abandoned for 30 years. It must be perfect. Alright, so we also might have some, yeah, Yeah, there and there. A lot of these are, you know, they're probably okay, but we're going to test them anyway just to make sure. So to do that, we have our little multimeter here. And I'm going to put the probe on this, and we're going to follow this trace, which is up here all the way over here, this top line. And that top line goes to here. Alright, so I'm going to put my multimeter there. Oh, would you look at that? We actually have a damn connection. Well, son of a gun. Alright, well, let's try this one here. That one goes up here and goes to there. Well, that one might be broken. Up here, all the way over here. Follow this line, follow this line. Right there. Nope, that one's touching too. My theory might be wrong, but might be one of those things when it heats up, you know, it's unhappy or something like that. That one's fine too. Well, either way, we're going to give these a bit of a clean. Yeah, probably. Who knows? But Macintosh did say it was sealed when he got it, so unless someone did a really good job sealing it, I don't know. But that's the thing. You can never tell with these things, no matter if they're new or old. Yeah, there's copper under there. Okay. It's really hard to tell unless, you know, you experience it for yourself. Because there's a lot of things that just, like, you know, somebody will just pop something on eBay. You never freaking know. Is this one broken too? Okay, this one has the point. So I'm just going to look very carefully here. I'm going to put fresh solder on these ones that I'm scraping here. But just want to make sure you have good connections here. Because all it takes is something really stupid and simple. I mean, look at all the gunk in there. These all look okay. I would be curious if it was just a bad connection. I am curious to put the original chips back on because it was working with these chips. So I don't necessarily think they're bad. And of course I'm a sucker for saving all the parts. Yeah, it's gonna have a lot of gunk on it. So let's clean this off. Ow. What I like to do is take a very light approach here with the toothbrush. And take my razor blade underside and scrape some of the metal bits out from there. Because there's quite a bit of gunk on here. All you need is to bridge something that's not supposed to be touching and you'll get that seam-a-seamic pattern. Very easy to do, folks. And you'll never know why. Well, yeah, it was working last year. It's looking a bit better, and so now I'm just going to take my soldering iron, and we're just going to burn some of that crud off the edge of these connectors here. Just help reform those to be in tip-top shape. This one's not too bad, otherwise I'd usually use like a ton of flux just to burn through some of this gunk. But this one's really not that bad. If I could actually get a better grip on my tools here. And just make sure as much of that gunk is gone as possible. A little bit, it's not going to hurt it, but we want to make sure that we're doing the best we can here. Alright, so we're going to put that chip to the side. And I'll move on to the next one, see how bad this one is. And thankfully they still make these chips, so it's not a problem if you have a broken one. This has quite a bit of crud on it. You could still get replacements, and they're not expensive at all. They're like less than $1 each or something like that. Big thanks to all my friends who are into this community as well. Bruce is one of them. Joe, Gutbomb, Ron, Eric, all you fine people, you know who you are. Because all of us try and help each other find parts or replacements for this or that and all this stuff. Without you folks, I'd be the same spot as a lot of people. Be like, well, what the heck do I do with this now? But there's a lot of smart cookies out there. I'm very glad to call them my friends, because I don't think anybody in this hobby could do it alone. There's so many people who are doing amazing projects, whether it's re-engineering pieces of hardware or upgrades, or they're redrawing schematics, or making little PCBs, or little testing boards like Rudy has been doing, little PCB designs like Joe and Ron have done. I'm working on a PCB myself. It's not ready for prime time yet, but when it is, be happy to share it. That's what I love about the retro community. It's you know, it's yes, I take around with these machines because I have a personal love for them. I have a personal nostalgic memory of using this or that software or whatever, and half of the fun is playing around with stuff that you could not even dream of affording back in the day when this stuff was brand new, you know. But happy to be a part of it, and happy to have them have me, because the more the merrier with us crazy folks, huh? Oh, I meant Eric. All Erics. All Erics. Yes, and K-Max stuff, and Max is nuts, too. The recreations of some of these logic boards, and Kai, and I can't name everybody, obviously, but you folks know who you are. There's tons of love to go around for all us crazy Mac heads. Alright, let's move that to the side. That looks okay. And here's the last one, which, ugh, I mean, it's not terrible, but there's a lot of gunk on them. Me! And Frodo Jedi is another one. I mean, all these folks. I keep remembering names now. I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna leave out somebody and feel bad about it. Even Jay for showing us how not to put solder balls on a Performa board. We all have our skills and our passions. Using my finger, and I'm gonna burn myself and regret it. Sizzling. Where'd Sean go? He owes me money. No, wait, I owe him money. Never mind. Or maybe he'll owe me if I save his cursed Mac. We'll see. Anyone who watched Sean's latest video? I hope you did. Let's scrub the heck out of this thing, huh? I would not be doing it this vigorously if the legs were weakened at all or anything like that, but this looks like it's pretty okay. You try and do this to an old CUDA chip or something like that, and the legs will just snap off. You'll find yourself dremeling into things. Reminds me, speaking of awesome creator folks, I have a Mac Classic board. I think it's a revision A. I forget the revision of it, but it's from Kate, Macintosh librarian. Had that in my possession for maybe like a few years. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, if you get to work, no worries. No worries if you can't. And wow, that thing did not want to get working, so that's still here. All right. Oh, knuckles. I know Bruce hates that noise. Sorry, Bruce. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be crazy here and clean up a little bit of this, and then we're just going to put the same chips back on, see if it made any difference. If not, we're going to have to replace those chips. But I'm going to go through here and give it a bit of a clean. Going to retin some of these areas just in case. Would not hurt. Don't see really any signs of damage on these pads. So my only other area that I would look at this point would be the main connector to the analog board, which is on the other side. We do have some solder balls there we'll try and clean up. But honestly, this does not look too bad. I would usually have more crud on here. Hey, Veronica, how's it going? Always nice to see you stop by. What projects are you working on? We were just talking about some cool projects. What are you working on? That goes for anybody. Anybody working on anything cool? Even if it's just, you know, restoring something, or you're just exploring a project, or you want to look at something. Those Raspberry Pi 2, those Pico Pi 2s are coming out. Look neat. A lot of projects I'm sure you could do with those. Ron has that little Pico Mac project that he built a little board for. He adapted from that cool little project that was floating around with the Pico board. So there's all sorts of cool stuff. I love these little project boards. It's just insanely cheap, and you could the sky's the limit as long as you are fitting within like the memory parameters and all the junk of like the requirements for those stuff. You could do some crazy cool things with that. I think that looks okay. We'll see if I'm wrong. A Coco. Interesting. I had the ability to pick up one of those. I just didn't. This was a few years ago. I was at an e-waste place. It was just one of the things on the pile, and it intrigued me. But I did not have the space in my car nor the knowledge. And I'm like, yeah, I'll leave it for somebody else to get. So, despite all the ribbing I get for hoarding old Apple crap and stuff, I honestly do not try and get everything. I understand there are people in the world that are not me that enjoy this stuff. Alright, so that's cleaned up, but let's just do some probing around just to make sure before I put any chips back on. Who's making comments about what? Everybody be kind, please. Don't make my moderators do silly stuff. Don't be silly, come on. I can't even keep track of the chat. I'm trying to look at this darn board here. Don't make Steve angry. Where the heck is that going? That goes all the way over there. Alright. Does it? Yes, it does. Okay. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Pico power module for the Apple II. I'm sure somebody is. Final Cut Express 3 on a revived 17-inch MacBook Pro. Nice. I don't know what those words mean, Trina. If I can't scan your comment in half a second and understand what you're saying, I'm sorry, I move on to the next one. But then again, I have trouble remembering my own name, so. Anywho, back to the board. We are looking pretty good here. Just want to touch up. Shut up, multimeter. Haven't said that in a while. Just want to touch up one or two minor little thingamajiggies here. Just get a little bit. Yeah, just want to. that solder ball out of there. All right, let's clean that up, and then let's put some chips back on, huh? And what I really like is Bruce's recapping guide has such high quality photos of these boards. You actually see where the chips go if you forget. Alrighty. Let's slap some chips back on the board, huh? Alright. Nice and shiny. Ooh, Cocoa Shenanigans incoming. Very nice. Well, you know, the problem is you have 30-year-old solder, and from what I've seen happen a lot is the solder around like the leg or something will crack. And so when you heat things up, all those little cracks just sort of like spread, especially when using a heat gun like I did to remove the chip, and you'll just find these little solder balls everywhere. Normally, if you clean the board well, like I did with an ultrasonic clean, they won't be a problem, but you know, some of them are nested in there, and honestly, where those were, deep in those little vias, it's not going to cause a problem really, but you know, you don't want to keep them in there if you don't have to. You have the ability to remove them. I would suggest doing so just in case. But it's very common to find these on these old systems. So now is the time of the program where I slowly go to OBS, slowly adjust my settings here, and show you Bruce's website, recapamac.com.au, my resource where I go to for most of these recapping guides. If he has it on there, I go there. And he has the SE30 here, this lovely little diagram, which shows you where the caps go, but he also has a beautiful high-res photo right here, and I'm going to click on that. We'll wait for that to load up. We'll make his little Mac Mini server in Australia sweat a little bit. And I'm going to open that in a new tab so I could zoom into it. And look at that. We have all these little chips right here. Check the capacitor on the side of that ACS chip. It looked rough. Could be your issue. Well, we will take a look. So, now that those are out of the way, our little chip here. You talking about C13? Or are you talking about C2? Because there we go. So we have capacitor C7. So that's probably that VSLI chip, that ACS chip. And there's just a blob of solder on there. Oh, you can't see, of course, because I didn't hide the thingamajig. Hold, please. Microscope. Not the chip, but the cap. Yeah. The chip itself, the side where the caps are. Okay, well, we'll take a look. Yeah, it looks a bit dull, but like I said, this thing was happy before it went for the clean. So I will give that little scrub dub, and I will look on the sides of it just to make sure that everything is connecting, but our multimeter can also help us with that. No, Veronica. I read things too quickly, so don't worry about it. I thought someone was picking on somebody in the chat, that's all. You want to pick on someone elsewhere, I have no jurisdiction. Just making sure these legs are actually touching the board. Looks alright. Septandy. I'm still in Macintosh mode. I need to reset my PRAM or something. Alright, so let's put some of these chips back on the board. And hope for the best here, huh? Alright, so the first one here that we have to put on is UE8, I believe. And that is the LSI 6610. So the little stripe is going to face the opposite way of that capacitor. So right there. And that's cleaned up a little bit. We do have little jagged edges, but that's okay. Well, that'll be fine. I'm just going to put some flux on there. Never have too much flux. Just like to make sure the legs are all getting some flux there. Gonna put a little dab of solder on my iron. If I could work with the spool of solder here. Gut Bum, stop it. Gut Bum is always tempting me with tasty sweets. I'm gonna pin down each side here. And once we do that, we could do some drag soldering, a technique that Bruce at Brankus Creations taught me. Just give it a little wiggle, a little solder, and look at that. We are all good to go here. Now we do have some solder in those vias, but that's, if we could clean that up, that's fine. If not, it's not going to hurt anything. It just looks a little different. All right, so that's one chip down. Thank you very much, Apples Anonymous. I appreciate it. Watching a Mac 84 stream outside by the fire. Let's enjoy yourself, please. Apparently, we had some sort of what the heck, Aurora Northern Lights things that we could have viewed yesterday. I guess maybe not my area, but somewhere on the Northeast. I don't even know what a Ventoy is. If I Google this, will weird things come up? I'm very out of touch. Open source tool to create a bootable USB. Okay, so they did something stupid. Alright, sounds like fun. Okay, so the next chip we're putting back on is this 74F263. So 74F263, that seems to be the same as the one next to it. Let me just confirm. I believe they are the same. Yes, okay, so it doesn't matter which one goes where. But just for funds, I will put them back in the same order. Alright, so again, we have this chip here, the little dot on the corner, and that little stripe say that they're the first pin. So that helps to make sure I'm not putting them on backwards. I would have never done that before in my life. Not at all. I am a perfect professional when it comes to this stuff. Stop laughing. Alright, so let's try and put this on here. Get a little bit more solder there. And there are a few other areas that I forgot to point out that I do check after an ultrasonic cleaning with an SE30, because there are some traces by the UJ11 and UK12 and that VSLI chip there that there's a trace that always seems to get a little bit bleh, and it's very easy to cut out. So I will check that with the microscope, see if everything looks okay there before we put this back on. I'm going to VCF Midwest. Excellent question, Eric. Whoopsie doodle. There goes the chip. Whee! Flying. I am going. I have to book my flight still. But I am going. And my wife is traveling with me as long as she decides not to not go in the next few days. But yes, and I have no idea what I'm going to be displaying at my table. But after some long and hard thought about it, I think I'm just going to try and go like sort of a minimalist approach, because at VCF East I brought so much stuff and set up so much stuff, and it was, I'm sure people appreciate it and all, but most people just want to say hi and get a sticker. So, you know, not exactly had to bring everything with me. Plus, I had to fly there, so it's like, what can I bring that I could fly with that is not going to get me in trouble with the TSA and is going to, you know, just have something I could put on display. So I might bring a power book or something. Open to suggestions, but yeah. All right. So I think that's okay. All right. I sent my SE30 to Steve and he sent me an SE60 in return. Okay, maybe he did, but it's still cool. Thank you, Ron, so kindly for the super chat. Eep! Greatly appreciate it. That was a bad eep. Hold on. Hold on. Eep! There we go. Thank you very much, Ron. It's very kindly. Kindly, very kindly of you. I say. Bring the shit on the bed. Oh, God. One thing that I do want to mention is I just watched it today, and it's on YouTube. I did talk about that little Pico Mac project just a moment ago and how Ron made a little board for it. Well, Ron gave a presentation at Kansas Fest. And this is... sorry, YouTube is... there it is. Pico Mac right here. Why did the Olympics come up? That's not what I wanted. Anyway, Ron did a little video. It's on the Kansas Fest YouTube page. I will link to it now. There you go. And it's great. He shows off the little Pico board, that adapter doodle that he made, which is great, and shows how it could work. And I think that project's really cool, so I'm excited to see where that goes. Stay mostly in NJPADA area. Yeah. Midwest is a trip. Trust me, it is. And it's a very overwhelming show the first time you go. It's one of those things where it's like, I love it, but it's also like you need a week to recover afterwards. You did. That was very gutsy of you, Ron. But I think it was very well received. Garth! Hi, Garth. All right. Glued two SE30s together. So, we put some new chips. Not actually, we didn't put any new chips on here. We just reflowed it and we cleaned this up. So, let's see if this damn thing wants to work any better. I am going to bring this over to the chassis that's right behind me. Going to plug it in. And we're going to see if it wants to work. Fingers crossed. You might not be able to see this well because, you know, my basement's a mess. But and the screen's also 9 inches and like 4 feet away. So. All right. 3, 2, 1. Still no chime, so I suspect we did not resolve the issue. We have not. Bupkis. Let's just adjust the ROM sim here. Nope. Something else is going on. Dang, I thought that was going to be an easy one. Ugh. Now, I did notice something when I got this board. It's curved. So to see that, there's like space under the ROM sim. It's very hard to see. But there was a slight curve to it. So, yeah. Interesting. I mean, there was a bodge wire on the bottom, but I think that's okay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Let's take a look here real quick. I'm looking at the bottom port. I did reflow this before the ultrasonic clean. And there's some residue there to clean up, but I don't think that's... I don't think those are bad or anything. It's just some leftover residue from the cleaning fluid. I believe the RAM is. I believe it's the same RAM I tested it with before. Happy to test it again, but usually get a SAD Mac. Yeah. So, I mean, they are 3 of the same modules, and then 1 module is different. And I know it's weird, but that's just how I had it, and they should be fine. I can steal RAM later if I'm more perplexed, but I'm gonna inspect the one area that I sometimes find a problem with. I could do some cleaning on these chips too. While I'm here, it's probably the stupidest, smallest thing. But see, like, this is a new old stock board, right? Look at that. We have like things like messed up inside of behind the solder mask. Yeah, the ROM sim socket is another thing. I do have my Big Mess Wires ROM sim somewhere, but it did work with this one, and I do believe I checked all the ROM sim stuff. So we still have quite a ways to go before we could say we checked everything. But one of the things I do like to check here If I could remember which chip it is. Yeah, see, there's a lot of just like crud left over from the ultrasonic cleaner. I mean, it does a great job cleaning it up. But, you know, you do get some of this stuff that sometimes doesn't get washed away by the alcohol bath or whatever that you give it afterwards. So it doesn't hurt to give it a bit of a scrub just in case. I'm going to check the sound chips too, because those had quite a bit of crust on it. But the one chip that I did want to check, where is it here? Yeah, this is it. So this is, what is that? U11. U11. So what happens here that I've noticed is you have this trace. You have this trace that goes past this capacitor. Here's like the big connector here. You have this trace that goes past here, and it goes to this chip here on its side. Let me get a sharper view. Sorry. Come on. Yeah, darn microscope. Yes, sorry, I know Justin is streaming, but I have almost not streamed in a month, and I have to get this back to Mark, so I had to do it any so. Anyway, this cap here, the line comes up here, down here, and touches this leg. And sometimes, because that is connected, I don't know if just like it's weak usually from the factory, sometimes that doesn't connect, but that's connected here, so we're in good shape there. You check that J, the area that you were talking about earlier with the weirdness. Weirdness. J? There's a lot of J's on this board. Just taking a look with my peepers. I will try another ROM sim. I'm also just going to clean this area. Some flux there, but that shouldn't cause anything. Half of retro computing is cleaning the same thing over and over again. The next thing I will do is reseat these chips. Actually, why the heck, I'll just do it now. I'm not even going to fully take them out, but... Oh, I said that and I just removed it. The problem is with these little chips here, sometimes it's easier to just take them out because the one right next to it will be a pain in the butt to remove if you don't. And I left my contact cleaner upstairs. But go ahead and grab that. Yeah, there's some little bits of residue in here, but not a lot. Sorry, I know you can't really see this. Let me switch views here. My apologize. My apologize. U11. Okay. That's clean enough. Well, the thing is, it's one of those things where I know this is going to be on display for like a weekend. And I'd really love to make sure that when I send it back, it's not going to have any lingering problems or anything that are going to come back to haunt me. So, I've also had the video ROM cause issues, but I will we'll take a look at that. The video ROM, if you're using one of the very early Big Mess of Wires ones, I actually replaced a video ROM on a system, and it turns out it was just... the CMAC that it was displaying was just part of that old Big Mess of Wires thing. If you had so much memory, it just displayed it weirdly. All right, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to run upstairs and grab something. I'm going to put the Be Right Back music on, and I'll be right back. flood the basement with floppies. Ron, there's already so many floppies. I love you guys. You folks are greats. Everybody grab it full of floppy disks. I'm grabbing a printer. Please. Please. Let's put back the solder balls. Would Steve even notice? And eventually. Not right away. Take me a decade or so. Oh, Baby Herman? Yeah. I'm more of an Italian accent. He's more of a Brooklyn guy. QD contact cleaner. Just spray this where you needs it. You'll be alright. Oh, it's a powerful smell. Let's reseat these chips here. None of them look particularly bad or anything, but never hoits. She just doesn't look at this direction when she walks down to the basement. We have an understanding. That understanding is if I don't keep the upstairs clean, I'm a dead man. I'm currently in danger of being a dead man because there is stuff up there that I have not moved yet. There's always a risk. There's always a risk. Alright. Should we just, make the board swim in contact cleaner? You think that'll solve the problem? Speaking of contact cleaner, we're going to do that to the video ROM. Printers and floppy disks. Oh, good lord. So many printers. So Ron knows where all the printers are. Ron and I had a little bit of spare time to spend together after VCF East. And we did a little video about the printers in my garage. Just to see if any of them worked. Spoiler alert, none of them did. None of them even frickin' turned on. So those personal laser writers went back up on the shelf to wait for a person of less discriminating tastes. So who knows what'll happen to them. They'll probably be the first thing I put in the shed. They'll be load-bearing printers. Maybe hold up the weight of something else. Alright, let's don't whiff the contact cleaner. Alrighty. A lot of extra fluids on the board. Alright, let's try and clean some of this excess stuff off of here. And then we're going to plug this in again and see if that made any difference. Contact cleaner app. So NOS is new old stock. I should probably change that description, but I'm too lazy to do it now. New old stock. So this board originally came in an Apple service box, which is right there. And it was all corroded with leaky caps. We replaced the caps, we breathed on it a little bit, and it actually worked. Then we gave it an ultrasonic clean, and it decided it didn't want to work any longer. And so now we're trying to find out exactly why that is. We have a few assumptions that we made. So far, it's unhappy. We're going to plug it in again, just behind me here, and we're going to see if it wants to work or not. Yeah, you're crooked, but so am I. So, all right, let's try this out again. Three, two, one. Hey, it chimed! How about that? That's what I'm talking about. And we got a cursor and everything. Yay! Yay! Whew! Oh boy. Wrong. Alright, so now it's asking for a floppy disk. Let's plug in our blue SCSI here. And we're going to run our little test suite. Oh, I would use my phone as a second. Well, I guess I could. Let's see. For another 4 hours. Oh, we have more crap to look at. We could look at that Mac TV and cry about it. Where's that? Was it Droid Cam or whatever it is? Yeah, let's see if we get that working. Oh, thank you very much, Garth. Appreciate it. That takes 60% off for YouTube. Eep. Yes, I'm sorry. I am very cynical sometimes when people donate stuff, and I just mentioned sometimes about YouTube taking, the money's out, but they do. It's their platform. They do whatever the heck they want. Thank you, Garth. That is very greatly appreciated. Eep. Thank you very much for the super chat. Well, I think it was unfortunately, I was too lazy to test it after each thing that I was doing. Did lift those chips, did reseat them, did reseat the video ROM. And something like that just seemed to make it work. So let's do our little Wi-Fi camera here. If I could find the darn thing, here it is. And test that G4 tower. That's all nice and pre-cleaned. Yes. Trust me, I would love to do a lot of things right now. I have videos for days that I would love to get working. Time to work on. See, brain not good right now. Brain not doing thing. Alright, so an audio capture is going to be our Yeti microphone. Okay, alright, so let's stick this phone somewhere. I mean, it's not going to be the best view. Absolutely not. Oh, that's terrible. It actually is fixed, Dana. Hold, please. Let me try and figure out how to position this camera guy. I need a tripod's upstairs. Can I just duct tape this to my head like this? Then you see what I see. Where's my tape? You think I'm joking. Pillage who I pillage. Where's my tape? Where's my damn tape? Maybe it's good I can't find it. Damn it, Steven. You had a funny thing that you could have done. If only you didn't lose, like, the 8 rolls of eBay tape you have in your basement somewhere. Some slightly used painter's tape will do. That right side up? Yes. Prepare everybody to go to get seasick. I wonder if my head's a good sticky surface to keep tape on. Steve Cam, go! This is so stupid. Hey, look, you can see the computer. No, you can't. What the hell? I'm a big idiot. Yeah, it's got to be like here. Yeah, this is not going. This is not exactly what I planned. Let's see if they can. Steve Vision. Nobody wants to see that. All right, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we're gonna just have to. You're just gonna have to have a zoomed in view or something. Let's get the second camera to point in that direction. Second camera. Do your thing. Oh yeah, that's a good view of my head. You're gonna say, but thank you, Gut Bob. Thank you. It's good you already have measurements of my my skull. All right, that's close enough. All right, so let's boot it up. Oh yes, power strip is off. I was about to say if it didn't chime, I would be very upset. Quality of my channel. Hey, my channel was quality for a long time too. It still is. I have one of those, but it's upstairs because I brought it with me to the Long Island Retro Show, and I left it in my car because I realized I'm not going to take videos really, and then I took videos anyway. Anywho, what was that? What did you reboot for? Oh, it would help if the mouse was plugged in. Oh, ow! Bashed my head into the freaking camera. I did not know that, Sloopy. We'll have to compare heads, see who has got more going on. I think the Blue SCSI disk image I have on here might not be compatible with system, whatever this Macintosh needs. What the hell's going on? You booting from that floppy or what? Let me just restart you. Hopefully we get a Koisa. Come on. Don't leave it. What? Oh, okay. There we go. Something weird's going on here. ADB has a mind of its own, I think. Or it's just ultra sensitive. What the hell? Like I'm moving the cursor and I leave it alone? Well, I don't know. It's doing something weird. Might be this keyboard. I don't know. Let's try another mouse. Might be a reason why this mouse was so conveniently located next to where I was working. I have a lot of things loose in my socket. Alright. Let's see if it does that again with a different mouse. 5,000 DPI. Okay, it was the mouse, hopefully. Because this mouth is smooth as butter. Alright, let's boot from a System 7.1 floppy. Happy Mac. Welcome, Macintosh. Will you please join a stream tomorrow night of mine, 7:30 p.m. as I will be soldering and reflowing the video card. If I'm not working then, yes. I will try and join. Hey, Thomas, how's it going? Oh, my connections are loose. Glad to be in good company. More duct tape, yes. No, yeah, I just put the mouse right here, and then I'm gonna try and use it. So I'm gonna get some tape. Disk is damaged. Do you want to initialize it? Well, yeah, sure. It's just a Blue SCSI image. Mac HD. Me can't spell. Creating directory. Making noises. There. I put a piece of tape on the Apple logo. I'm learning. I'm in danger. Alright, so let's copy our system folder to the Mac hard drive. Oh, it's going to yell at us, isn't it? You know what? We're doing this the stupid way. Because it's much faster for me to just put a correct disk image on the damn SD card rather than installing System 7 from floppies and doing this and that and juggling and all that crap. Alright, so let's open up our emulator here. Hi. And we're going to do just that. So let's take you and go over here. And we'll grab this here. We'll add that disk image here. We'll get our Apple Legacy disk image, which is always a helpful tool to have. And we'll add that to our emulator, hit save, and boot that up, and then I will get the camera here so you can see what I sees. Make sure that captures the emulator. There we go. So let's go here, and I'll name this Mac SE. And we'll install system, let's say 7.1. Do a net install here. And you'd say, Steven, don't you have disks that are already made up for such occasions? And I would say, yes, that was a disk image that I already put in there, but apparently it's corrupt, or it was made so long ago I did it wrong. Well, yes, it's not a bad idea to test the read-write of a floppy, but we already opened a floppy disk, and so that, I think, tested the swim. And this has been happening. Basilisk just like freezes on me, so we're just gonna force quit it and open it up again, because yay, computers. Let's hope the SCSI isn't. Although it did format the drive correctly, if the SCSI was borked, I would expect it to be very borked. Alright, and we're going to grab our good friend Snooper here and put that there. We also have SCSI. Well, let's open you up and put you there. Alright. So we have Snooper 2.0. That should be fine. Alright, so let's shut down. Let's eject with our disk image here. It is very buggy. And we'll put our SD card back in our blue SCSI. It's our vintage Blue SCSI version 1 external, but it still does the job. And someone say floppy. Don't copy that floppy. Yeah, the only reason I take it out, that Legacy CD disk image, is because it requires System 7.6 compatible. It requires your Mac to be compatible 7.6 to boot, and a machine like this with only 4 megs of RAM ain't gonna cut it. Is it booting from the floppy? Yes, it is. What the hell? I guess I still have the floppy mounted. Well, let's see if it sees the hard drive. It does. So we're gonna set the startup disk with that, and we're going to reboot. There we go, we're booting from the SCSI bus. There we go, right to the desktop. I think we have 4 whole megabytes of memory. That is true. And we're going to run our Snooper test here. I'm going to go to our logic tests. We're going to uncheck the modem port, because we don't have to check those, because I don't have those little dongles. I should have made them ages ago when Bruce documented them. But we're going to do a memory check here. Now the memory is mine, but you know, we're going to check it anyway. Last time we did this, it passed with flying colors, so hopefully it will do that again. But it seems to be happy. Yay! Yeah, so what happened was we reseated the UC8, UD8, and UE8 chips. That did not seem to solve it, but we did scrub the heck out of that, and then we reseated the chips next to those 5-socketed chips, and then we reseated the video ROM. We all sprayed that with contact cleaner, and voila, it started up. So maybe those chips were not the issue, but it certainly didn't hurt. So. You and me both. I'm not moving. It looks worse than it is. Don't look. Just don't look. It's better if you don't look. It's a basement for a reason. Alright, processor passed. ADB passed. Here comes the FPU. Alright, we all good. Pass with flying colors. So now the ultimate test will be if I did exactly what I did last time, which is just take the board, just sort of flex it and wiggle it around and just kind of be mean to it, and then see if it still starts up. Thank goodness. Because the other time we'd breathe on it and it would stop. So, excellent. Alright, so I will consider that one solved. Thank goodness. Oh boy. There's no battery in there. Not that crazy. Oh, the ghost of Basilisk is still here. Let's hide that. Alright. So, that was a good use of our time. Sorry. One day I'll get a better professional streaming setup. 80 people watching. We've been going for almost 2 hours now. The heck am I doing now? Put more tape on this. That's what I could do. Sorry, something fell off and I'm just trying to... not fell off. In the process of falling off. There. I have a Color Classic board. That's mine. That has a pin that when I was shoving it into my homemade socket, one of the edge pins just went boop and sticks up like a alfalfa's hair or something like that. So, but what we can do, I guess, and this is something that Amiga of Rochester was talking to me about. Get up here. We were curious if the CUDA was wrong, was bad on this Mac TV or not. I don't think I'm going to do a whole deep dive on this because honestly I spent 7 hours the other day on this and I don't think there's too much more that I could do with this at this moment in time, but I'm going to take a look anyway. Show up the camera. Oh, well, that's upstairs. Soon. I promise we'll look at some cool things soon, but I'm tired of going up the stairs. I do want to show you this Mac TV board. Because it is in very nice shape, although it still doesn't want to work. And who knows, maybe we'll just find something weird about it during this stream. That would be nice. It'd be nice if there was like a big broken trace somewhere and be like, aha! So what we did was, we soldered 2 leads to the edge connector there. And what that does is it simulates the... I guess what the CUDA would do to start the thing up. And I have this little push button which apparently just snapped off here. That's okay. I have little switches and buttons that I could replace that with. But you'd push this and it would basically force the machine to start up. I do have these switches. These are pretty heavy duty switches. Which is in the on position, which is in the off position. Well, I guess we could find that out with our little multimeter guy here. Because I don't know. Suck, nerds. I resent that remark. Alright, let's probe the heck out of this thing. Alright, so multimeter, go to continuity mode. For the sake of our sanity, red goes to red. And we're just going to see. Really? What the hell? Oh, not in continuity mode. Because I am idiot. We press things wrong. And then let's just do the center one here. Oh, so it's one of those, alright, so it doesn't matter which one I do. Alright, cools. So let's, fix my horrible soldering job in this little switch. Which I've recycled from another project. How's everyone doing today's? Mac TV was the first computer I broke by removing the system name from the system folder. Well, you know, doing things like that, you learn. Especially if you have a parent that yells at you. What the hell did you do to the computer? Oh, trust me. A lot of my education into how to fix things was not always a happy path of, like, oh, wow, Steven fixed it. It's like, Steve, you broke it. You better fix this thing. Oh, boy. Happy memories. Happy, happy memories. All right, see you, Sloopy. It would be helpful if I could hold this straight. There we go. Now we're just going to attach this wire onto the switch just very crudely. That's fine. And we're going to attach the other one just as crudely. There was a trial version of Windows 3? I didn't know that. Sounds like something I would do, though. I installed Linux over Windows because the picture on the box showed Linux with the GUI. Turns out, I didn't know how to install Linux with the GUI, and so it defaulted to just a command line. And the realization of that when it started up, and I'm like, hey, look, it's lit. Oh. I had no idea what to do. Thankfully, it was on a spare hard drive, so I just, yanked the old one out and yanked that hard drive out, put the old one back in. It was fine, but learn by experiences. I mean, it's the best I think you could do. You learn really quickly what not to do. Real fast, especially on the job. A real nasty boss. The boss I have now is real nice, but I've had in the past. I've had some really, ugh. All right. I heard my name. You did? What did I say? I have the memory of a goldfish. I laugh about it now, but We're just going to torture ourselves a little bit with this Mac TV. Because I've really had my fill with it already. Like I said, over 7 hours of tinkering with it on Sunday. But I am just curious, now that we have an audience and smart people here, maybe we can make some sense out of this. Let me switch to this view. This is that harness I was talking about. So that is the video connector. As you can see, this is tried and true. This is totally not janky at all. Action Retro would be proud of me. Alright, so let's put that down. Let's shove a gigawatt up its butt here. What the hell is a gigawatt? Alright. Move the microscope a little bit out of the way here. Oh, I said Linux. Oh, sorry. I was explaining how I did stupid Linuxy stuff back in the day because I didn't know any better. I learned the hard way. Alright, let's just be nice and guiding this in there. Make sure we don't hurt any pins on the bottom. Make sure we don't have any exposed wires touching things they shouldn't. Especially this crazy setup I have here for the video, which again, if I breathe on it, it stops working. So it might not work at all, but I'll plug this in. And right now, I have absolutely no way to test if this thing is really going to turn on, except for this little LED that is part of the system here. We have this little board with a green LED on it. When I apply power, that LED turns on, and that's really all I could get out of this Mac TV right now, because I don't have sound working. Let me turn this on here. This might be a better view. Hi, and see what we can figure out here. So we have a little PRAM battery thing with a little switch that's set to on. We do have our little dealie here. Unfortunately, the logic board of this does not have audio out, so the only audio out we have is through this little jack, which I do have this speaker plugged in here. Whoa, that was loud. And I can plug it in to that headphone jack if it lets me. But I don't think we're going to get any sound out of it. So, all right, well, let's turn this thing on. 3, 2, 1. You heard that speaker do something. Let's see if it does the same thing with that switch in the off position. Yeah, I don't think that's making much of a difference there. Yeah, and the only thing I can do to confirm that it's actually getting power is plug a blue SCSI into it, and we'll see those lights come on. But it does not attempt to boot. So I believe it's sad macking, but I don't have any way to hear the sound. I don't think the ground is grounding itself, like for the speakers and all that stuff. Yeah, this is a 500 series. I did hear some audio crackling, but yeah. So I has questions of why this is doing this, but here's some interference on there, but just for funsies. Are we getting a video signal? No, we're getting black. So if I turn this off, it goes to the color bars. And then when I turn this on, that's what we get. So it's kind of doing something. But not. Well, the amplifier is on the analog board. Yes, and the Mac TV is codenamed Peter Pan. Yeah. Connect ground to the... Well, see, the thing is, one would think that, but let's go through this logically. Wherever the heck I put my dang multimeter. It's right on my lap. So, if we were to test this, here's the ground of the SCSI shield, okay? That's the ground there. I can see through the board these little grounding guys that are supposed to touch. And that's grounded right there. And that's ground right there. And that's ground right there. So those ground lines are connected somehow still. My assumption is that because the multimeter tells us there's continuity between that ground bit, that where is it? This one and the other one here, that they're all connected. So yeah, it is a little neat thing. And like the PowerBook Duo was all Superman theme. Metropolis, I think, is on the schematic for one of those I saw. Yeah, so the ground's already connected. We are hearing something out of this big speaker that's turned pretty high up in volume. I did switch the ROMs already. These are actually the ROMs from my Macintosh TV. Your ROMs are over there in a little bucket. But I did switch the ROMs, Userlandia. Spoiler alert, this is his Macintosh TV. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. Now, since I have the microscope right here, would not hurt to take a little peruse around. Make sure we're not missing anything. The board has been recapped. There's a little specks of dust here and there from this being on my bench and off my bench for so long. I did reflow this voltage regulator just in case. I did knock a bunch of these pins around with my multimeter to make sure nothing was flaky. I mean, I have not tried with some memory in a long time, so I guess I could just put some, 72 pin memory? I guess I could just shove a stick of memory in there and just see if that does anything different. It would surprise me if it did. But who knows? Maybe one of these memory modules is bad. Let me go stuck interrupt switch. Yeah, I mean, we could test those fuses. You have the ability to do that. Now it's okay. Is this one bad? Wouldn't that be freaking hilarious? Nope, that one's okay. 1, 2, those are the big ones I see. So both of those fuses seem okay. Let me, where the heck could I get some 72 pin RAM? I know where I could get some in the garage, but I'm not going to the garage. Oh boy. Well, see, the thing is, this power supply just turns it on, just like the Color Classic, without the keyboard. So this just turns everything on automatically, without anything. In fact, this switch actually is not needed for our purpose here. It is when it's plugged into the actual chassis, which I'm not going to bring over here because every time I touch that machine, I swear the plastics are going to disintegrate. But I could, if I wanted to, bring this over there, turn it on, and we'll likely hear the sad Mac just as we did before. But that soft power key is going to have nothing to do because the ATX power supply is just instantly putting voltage into this rather than the analog board waking up and sending voltage through the edge connector. So we've removed that step of it. But yeah, the Color Classic, Mac TV, Mac 500 series, all are soft power machines. 72 pin memory, 72 pin memory. Where would I find some of that where I haven't already stolen it off of? What is this? What machine is this here? No, there's nothing there. Here's some memory. Couldn't Hoyt. Now could it? 3, 2, 1. Yes, I tested the Color Classic board in my test harness. We talked about this at the beginning of the stream, and there's a post on Tinker Different all about it. And we get video out and everything. But the Mac TV, the whole reason I built the test harness is to try and determine what the heck is going on with the Mac TV. And if we go over to our video capture thing, yeah, we're still getting a black screen here. Yeah. And we can see some activity, I believe, on the 6th pin of the ROM. So if I plug in my oscilloscope here, we'll show you all the stuff that we were playing around with before. Let's shut this off for a second. Let's move this. Let me just connect this to ground here. Where's that little thingamajig I had so I could reuse it? Not that one. Not that one. Where'd it go? Did it fall down? Am I sitting on it? Did I throw it out? There it is. This Mac does not work. Even if I plug it into my Performa 550, I get a sad Mac chime, the screen stays dark. But that was after some recent cleaning. Before that, did nothing. So unfortunately, that's the state of this machine right now. Alright, so let's open our little oscilloscope application here. And let's close that, close that, close that. And just bring this up. And see if I could bring this in here. No, not display capture. Just want to do a window capture. No, that's the wrong camera. We want to do here. Window capture. We want to select that. Beautiful. That's a little bit small. We'll put that over here. Nobody needs to see my face. And yeah. All right. So here we have our little thingamajig. We're zapping the P. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I think this is like one of the lines of the CPU, if I recall correctly. We're applying power. And see, that goes high. And then we cut power. That goes low. Similarly, I think, what is it, the second of the CUDA. You got a signal there. I know that I'm very zoomed out here. I'm still trying to figure out this software, so I'm not the best at this. But I believe this one here. Yeah, so we got a nice wave on. This is the pin 4 of the CUDA and pin 3 of the CUDA. So things are trying here, but not necessarily what we'd hope. So there is some life out of it, but it's getting stuck in a weird way. I am curious of something. If I go to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, if I'm holding this and I press the reset button, you see that reset button doesn't seem to do anything. This is that CUDA reset button on the board. It doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, this button doesn't seem to do anything. I wonder if the button's broken. Well, Thomas, we were just talking about the audio circuitry is very complex, and there's the audio amplifiers in the analog board. We don't have the analog board hooked up, so we'd have to recreate some sort of audio circuitry here that is not present in order to make that happen. And that is a bit beyond my knowledge at this point. Well, we were just talking about that raw elements, and all of the pieces of the board that touch the bottom are actually already grounded to the system. There are 2 grounds to this. There's this little brown wire that I did have soldered in at one point, and then I disconnected it because I thought it had to be separate, but I could tie it back together, although we still weren't getting sound when we did that, but, you know, it never hurts to just do it, just for the heck of it. I have a soldering iron here. It'll take me all of 2 seconds to do, because I already have the ground exposed here from when I was doing our little video hackery thingamajig here. So, no, do not worry. I am just reiterating it for the folks who came in late. And I did make a little post on the Tinker Different forums about this. So if anyone's very smart and they want to look at the schematics and be like, oh yes, this is what this means because of that and doing the thing and whatever, more than welcome to. You'd not only help me out, you'd help probably a bunch of people out who would love to have a similar setup here. Let me get a tool or something I could hold this with, because that is too hot for me to hold. All right, that should be good. No, all of those 3 legs are grounded. They're all grounded. Yes, and so Adrian's issue was different because he was putting he had the analog circuitry hooked up, but he did not have the grounding plate that went somewhere, which I don't know where it goes. Probably to the analog board, which sends a signal back or whatever. If you had a perfectly working chassis, it should work fine in that case. I haven't watched that video in a while, but I know that the Color Classic and the 550 are slightly different in the way they do things, so, you know, yeah. Good night, Rudy. Take care. All right, so let's turn this on again. Just for funsies. A lot of interference out of that speaker. But yeah, we don't see any SCSI activity indicator to think that the system is booting up. I am curious now. I am going to just walk over to the system I have over there, plug this board in, and just see if we still get the SADMAC out of it. I'd be curious to hear if we do. So I'm going to grab my keyboard and do that. I'm going to put the... should I put the be right back thing on? I guess. Well, I'll be right back. Just... Can I just point this camera over there? No, that's not going to stay up. We'll just point you in this direction. Kind of. I'll wave. I swear it's not as bad as it looks. Anyway, I'll be back in a... Come on, turn, you stupid camera. Yeah. Yeah, it is strange that doesn't do anything, but I'm not sure if that just sends like a soft reset. I'm not really sure what that does, because the Color Classic I don't think has one on there. But anyways, let's plug this in and see what happens. Alrighty. Hey, Colin. Stepped away to plug this into the actual Performa 550 to get some idea if this Mac TV board is doing anything like it was doing the other day. Have an update. It's not sad-macking, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. But this switch we installed does supply the juice it needs to power on. That switch is making the soft power work because I can tell by the blue SCSI that the Mac TV is turning on. The Mac TV board is turning on. I hear the CRT sparkle a bit, energize. That's it. Nothing. No sound or anything. So let's plug it back into our little test bench here. Because it's funny, the speaker is actually making a buzzing noise, even though there's no electricity coming into this. Oh boy. But hey, Colin, thank you for joining us. 911 on speed dial. He's fine, I see him over there. Oh boy. Alright, so. Be a sign of life. Well, it did SADMAC at least once, so we know it's not completely dead, but we also know it's not completely happy. Let me just take another look at this blasted CUDA chip. Where's the microscope? There it is. I mean, this chip has seen a lot of stuff, but it is seemingly operating. We are getting the signals we expect from it. But I guess, Dan, with your permission there, sir, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but if that reset chip switch is broken, I guess that could be keeping this in an odd state. I've never had a button break like that, but I would have to try and remove that button from the board. It looks like there were just 2 pins under it. I did remember saying someone saying their CUDA switch did short and keep it stuck on reset. I don't know the secrets of the. Well, it does seem like it's fairly trivial to remove that, so I am happy to give that a shot here. I don't think I would really damage the board or anything by doing that. Wouldn't it be funny if after all this it's something stupid like that? Wouldn't that be hilarious? Big pain in the butt. Stupid computers. Oh boy. So if it's okay, I will go ahead and try and remove this switch carefully. I should use the desoldering gun. That would probably make very quick work of this. Let me make sure that's plugged in and turned on. Yeah, it is right there. So you know what? It's time we removed it. You know what? I have a scope here. While that heats up, we could test our theories. Because if I just loop this around that guy, it's gonna be too small to do that. We'll do it manually. I'm gonna just see if there, if it changes as if we push the darn button, right? Right. That's the only way to break Breath of the Wild. So if I keep that on there, the switch does not seem to be doing anything. Move. You have my permission. If this solves it, I don't know what I'd do, but I'll be a bit upset. Let's just say that. If it was something as stupid as this switch that's been plaguing us for, what, a year now? All right, let's try it again. You're not going to get the best view here. course, one of the pins came out perfectly. And the other is going to be a stubborn little piece of crud for us. I could say crap. Why are you not saying crap, Steve? There we go. Come on. You could do it. It's right on the ground plane. That's the problem. Alright, so we got half of it off. So I'm just going to heat up the other side with my regular soldering iron, and we should be able to just walk this one out. So let me turn this off. Well, that did make quick work of the other one, so that's helpful. This sucker does not want to come out. Might have to use hot air. Using all the things. This is very exciting to view, I'm sorry. There. Wrong string. Ah, thing's getting hot. Oh, come on. I wish I had a third hand sometimes. Actually, you know what? The switch is halfway out, so it's technically not a switch anymore. So, it's technically not touching anything now. So, it's only 2 pins. Curious if that'll be enough. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be a nice break for old Steve and old buddy, old pal? Let's hide this. Let's turn that off. Turn that back on. And I don't know if this is... Did this get... did my video capture thing get all screwed up? This happens from time to time. Yeah, that's working. So where's the VGA capture? Of course, it doesn't see that anymore. Did we... Oh, that's right, because we plugged our oscilloscope in, and then the computer went, hey, you've got too many devices plugged in. I'm from 2012s. I can't handle this. And now we have to, like, basically, like, baby OBS until we're like, we're sorry we plugged in too many devices. We're just going to plug things into random ports now and just hope it works. Let's, still not seeing it, are we? You stupid thing, you. You know. No, I brought that upstairs. I had a MacBook Air that was just relaying the video capture thing. That's all its job was. do I have to really go upstairs to grab that just because this Mac had a bit of a problem with me plugging too many USB things into its ports? You'd think it would reset itself. I mean, look, this computer, I put it through a lot. And that's the one thing it keeps doing that just keeps annoying me on. All right, let's open up QuickTime Player, see if that's displaying it. I don't know. I don't know what's to be done no more. All right. Yes, it's no, it's just not. It does not show that. It does not show that device. Maybe I just wouldn't make much sense to unplug it, but I mean, I don't know what to do anymore. And I have a separate cable here, and that's plugged into the front of the unit here. Maybe we'll unplug it there, and it'll decide to work over here. I don't know. I don't really work with computers. See, it still shows it as like a... It doesn't really show it as a device connected. It's showing as like it's there, but it's like not configured or something dumb. It's showing up as blank. Ugh. Gosh darn it. Go to About This Mac. Go to System Report. I have an HDMI upscaler, and that's what everything's plugged into. It's the USB capture component of it. It's seen by the computer. So let's open up QuickTime. Sometimes I have to open it with QuickTime, and then OBS like goes like, oh, there it is. You know, it's one of those stupid things. The joys of using outdated hardware and software. No, not even QuickTime seeing it. It sees the audio component of it. Somehow. You kind of have a few there. It's seeing the audio component of it. Well, hold on. I have another one of these stupid boxes. Let me go grab it. Ow. It's just these little cheapo USB to thingamajigs. HDMI. Let's unplug that HDMI. Just plug it in here. And just see if that wants to work now. Do we see it show up in the list? Yes, we do. Thank goodness. My goodness. All right. So let's apply power to this thing again. See what happens. Holy crap! We got a screen. We got a screen. We got a cursor. We got a cursor. That stupid switch. And I'm lagging. I'm lagging terribly because of computer. We got a cursor because we just lifted the stupid CUDA switch. And we got it's booting! It's Dan! Look at this! Why didn't you make that suggestion 2 years ago? It freaking chimed! It didn't chime, but you know. That stupid switch. So Dan, can we yeet this switch into the sun? God. Hold on. Yeah, I'm all laggy now. Thank you, OBS. Oh my goodness. So yeah, the CUDA switch was stuck on. You stupid little... I mean, great. Now we know. Alright, hold on. Let me try and unscrew up my lag here. No, it's not going to work. The joys. The joys of using old computers. Yeah, that's not working anytime soon. Yeah, so it seems that the CUDA switch was just stuck on. I mean, we did do a lot of other things. I swapped my CUDA's chip with his CUDA chip. And I swapped my ROMs with his ROMs. But let's... I don't know where that CUDA chip is. It's in one of my little parts bins. But let's swap the ROMs and eliminate that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the bodge wires, that switch was turned in the off position. But the next thing I will do after confirming that the ROMs are not the issue is we're putting this in that Performa, and I'll turn on the Wi-Fi cam, and we'll see if it actually, uses ADB startup and all that stuff. But, sometimes it's just the stupidest, smallest things, like a switch breaking. The physical part of the switch sounded fine, but... Oh, God. Well, that's one less repair to worry about. These things actually do keep me up at night. I am always like, oh, I gotta do that thing. Oh, I wonder what's wrong with it. Really, they do. But it is so satisfying when you get signs of life out of it. Yeah, these chips are always just a bit of a pain to squirrel out. There we go. Do it very carefully. All right. So we'll put in the high ROM there, and remove the low ROM there. Oh, thank you very much, Tevruden. And that's why I stream these things. One, because there's a bunch of smart folks out there who are very helpful in figuring things out. But two, to document things. So if anybody else has a stupid issue with the Mac TV, I just bent my ROM chip there. But my Mac TV is broken, so what are you going to do? I don't need my ROM chips to actually work. But yeah, so someone else could realize, hey, look, maybe I could check for that. Hi, Ron. Oh, yep. Thank you very much for the super chat. Isn't a coodily cute as we thought. All right. So yes, I can remove those bodge wires now. Now I'm going to turn it on again. Let's go back to this here. It could have been anything, really. Look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, and let's put in an appropriate system so we could actually boot. Huh? I think I have a disk image here. Yep. And we're going to put that there. A CUDA case of being stuck. Keep the puns coming, guys. I could use it. Disk jockey encountered a problem. Oh, shut up. There's something buggy with this system all of a sudden. All right, let's just copy over this. We'll use that. Yeah, I mean, you have composite video in, so who needs the tuner board? Akuda Matata. I am sorry, Tech Ambosia. I am stealing that for a shirt and getting sued by Disney. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, that's funny. Eject R. Scuzzy. Akuda Matata. That's great. Alright, where's my phone? There it is. Take you a picture of that. That's funny. Alright, we're going to steal the keyboard and mouse off of this. Barracuda. Guys are crazy. Turn this on again. I know I'm still lagging. Nothing I can do about it without restarting the streaming software and potentially the computer. But look at the mouse moves and everything. I think this poor thing only has, is it 4 megs of onboard memory? Look at that. Look at that. Four megabytes of built-in memory, maximum of 8. What a waste. What a waste. Oh, yeah, I think I just clicked OK on formatting the hard drive. So we'll do it this way. Well, hold on. This is the moment of glory here. Oh, Macintosh. Alright, formatting software. I think our resolution is better, too. Barracuda stick. Oh, boy. Yeah, 75 viewers and I don't know how many likes. Something going on somewheres. Sweet something of somebody. See, look at the volumes there. Whatever. Let's erase it. Alright, so because we only have 4 megabytes of memory, I think System 7.1 will do us well here. I can't believe this is freaking working. No, not print. Oh, I guess I mashed the right one. Problem-free philosophy, Akuta Matata. I do have that one memory stick. I have no idea how much memory is on this thing. It says GE rental lease. I don't think they're getting that back, though. Oh no, could not launch, whatever. Is it because we ran out of memory? I bet it's because we ran out of memory. Let's shut down. Oh yeah, this is my screwed up legacy CD where somehow I installed Norton onto it before I locked the disk image. Yeah, I'll make that reset switch into a nice necklace for you. How about that? We got a gray screen, so there you go. CUDA, you please insert more RAM. Oh boy. At least I feel like I got something accomplished tonight with the Mac SE and this. So, look at it, count all that memory. Unless it doesn't like this memory module, which is very possible. There's probably a reason why I moved it over here onto the side. Did that come out of this stupid Mac clone? Did I use 72 pin memory? Yeah, it's very possible. It probably doesn't like it. Trust me, if I had the energy and the time, I would do it a lot more. No likey. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save ourselves some trouble here, because I would like to finish this here. I'm gonna hit I'm gonna quit OBS and open it up again because it's lagging pretty bad and it's bothering me. It's gonna say the stream has stopped. It has not. I'll be back in like 2 seconds, so hang tight. Hopefully I'm back. Let me know in the chat if I'm back. Give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, great. All right. Hopefully it's not as laggy. With the batteries, yes. I mean, I don't know if this could take more than 8 megabytes. I'm sure people have hacked things. I maybe not caught up with it, but from the factory. Is no more than 8, they say. Alright, so let's add this here. Let's hit save. Let's open up our emulator again. And we're going to install it the easy way. Good night, Francois. Yeah, not the Mac TV. Mac TV special. Alright. I like how it spends more time moving the folders than it does anything else. Alright. And might as well... See, it keeps doing that. After every system install, it just freezes, and I have to quit the stupid emulator and open it up again. It's been doing that lately. When I tell Thomas about what was causing the problem, he's going to have a nice laugh about it. Or cry. You know, it could go either way. Oh yeah, isn't there that TV software on here? It's a TV FM. There's a video. Yeah, video. Is this it? I'll know the install screen when I see it. Yes, I think this is it. Because the CD-ROM would have that on it, I think. Yep, there it goes again with freezing. But that's okay. We've installed what we had to. Yeah, maxing at 8 megabytes because, you know, somehow Apple thought that it would eat into sales. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows any of this stuff anymore? All bad marketing decisions that have come back to haunt us 30 some odd years later. All right. Alrighty. I'm still thrilled that this frickin' thing chimed. Woohoo! Oh yes, the whole arrows thing. Oh yeah. All right, we got our cursor, and I think this is the full 640 by 480 resolution. It's not zoomed in like the classic board is, so that's cool. And I confirm my test chassis works on this. Of course, it's booting off of the wrong disk, but that's okay. My arm is still doing that tingling thing. Okay, where the hell's the hard drive? Come on. What the hell? Good, maybe? It'll be healthier if this stupid thing wanted to work. Man has heart attack on stream cursing at computers. It's like a pinched nerve type thing, magic. Not mounted. Well, you know, it'd be a good idea if you actually like mounted the disc. Maybe when it, the emulator crashed, it fudged it up. Sorry, the video is a little laggy. It's 500 megs! Well, I mean, it's on. It works. I wanted to run some testing on it, but something is not happy here. We'll try this one more time. Or I'm turning this ship around. Where's the darn cable? Because Disk Jockey won't make disk images for me anymore. It says something about being things are write protected or whatever, which doesn't make any sense because it's on the desktop. So I don't know what that's all about. But we'll try it this way here. The SCSI gods demand a sacrifice. Yeah, they probably do. Let's do this. We'll add the other disk image here. Hit save. Open up our emulator. If it was Bork, then why is it booting off the CD? I don't know. Shrubbery. It's not showing up the other disk image anymore. I guess it is broke-did. Great. Fan-freaking-tastic. Way to corrupt things, emulator. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? I think that's where we are in my life. Arise, chicken! Arise! Stupid CUDA reset button. Let's just say continue. Let's quit manually and see if the system still freezes. How about that? It froze after I closed the window. What the heck? What the heck? We gotta spin a wheel and everything. Basilisk, I swear, you are next to useless sometimes. Let's just try now, I guess. Oh, you know what? There's that, was the infinitemac.org? Let's just drag the image there and see if it mounts. I know you won't be able to see this. Just do a little drag-a-rooney here, and it mounts perfectly. Alright, so shut down. And let's actually here, let's change this. Sorry folks. There's a lot going on here today. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna drag over you. We're gonna drag over you. Oh boy, Bruce. That is a lot of work to do. But good on you for doing that. Really. Because that is the stuff that really helps, you know, people try and fix this crap. Is locked. Ah, poop. Well, I guess we could just boot it up normally. How about that? Let's just do that, huh? Can we do that? Eject, 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 eject. That'll make for some good live stream material. I mean, I would personally just remove it, because you're not going to use it, right? Hey, Mark, we fixed your dang SE30. Yay! Eep! Thank you for the super chat. Now we have a test harness working with a Macintosh TV. Oh, the above camera is not plugged in anymore. That's right. Sorry. But we have a test harness on the bench. We're booting up a Macintosh TV board, which we just fixed. It was the stupid CUDA switch that was stuck in the... It was broken, and it was stuck in the reset position. Kudos to our friends in the chat, especially Dan, for figuring stuff like that out to give us a bit of a thing to think about here. But if we go to the Apple menu here... Macintosh TV, look at that. They didn't even change the icon. This keyboard is so broken. 75% done. Yeah, and having the switch removed is not going to hurt it. Don't even know why it's included on this one. Is it on mine? Yeah, it's on mine too. Well, mine is very worse for wear. I don't think I have any hopes of getting that working. Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I have one that's the case is in great shape, but the board is trashed. But now we have confirmation this test bench works with 640 by 480 video, which is very exciting. Oh yeah, that graphic for the installer is great. So again, we don't have any sound, even though the board is working. So that's a grounding or a signal issue we got to figure out. There's no analog board involved in this setup here. So, and so if we go to the Apple menu, there we go, Apple Video Player. Could not find the necessary video hardware. Alright, that's probably not the right version for this, but at least the system is working happily. My goodness, that's a relief. I'm just going to go to the sound control panel. I'm just curious about something. And then we'll wrap it up here. And I encourage you to all visit Justin D. Morgan's stream. I think he started a bit after me today. He's probably still going. So be sure to check him out. Interesting, when I click on it, you hear like interference. If the speaker's turned all the way up. I don't know. Yeah, there's something with the audio grounding or whatever. We gotta figure out how to make that work. But anyway, my goodness, I am stupid happy that we got this to work. Oh, I should shut that down. Special shutdown. My goodness. Yeah, some interference. Interference mistaken as an audio signal. I'll take it. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Yes, we talked about it a bit before, Benjamin. It's because the analog board has an audio amplifier. And since there's no analog board here, we're not grounding the right things to just make the audio happy out of that headphone jack. So that's a future project. Does not affect this board working. But what I can do is, what I want to do right now is I'm going to desolder these two little leads here off the bottom that I put in for that reset switch that we don't need anymore. And what I will need to do is need to find my my little parts thingamajig that I put the original CUDA chip in. So although my Mac TV board is close to dead, I would like to retain that apart. But last thing I'll do is walk over to that Performa 550, put this in there, and see if the keyboard lets it boot. It should. It better. And, well, that's right. It booted up with the memory in there. How about that? All right, so didn't even check how much it was on there. All right, so move the camera over here so you'll be able to just see the top of my head, and I'll be right back. It chimes! Yay! We got a picture on the screen! Yay! So it does chime. It's doing a little question mark with the floppy disk, which is weird because we had the blue SCSI plugged into it. So I'm going to grab that mouse, the working mouse. Wonder why it's doing that. It booted up fine here. Maybe the SD card is loose or something like that. You heard the chime. Oh, yes, unfinished projects everywhere. I'll be right... Actually, wait. No, if I use the Wi-Fi camera, it's just going to be all distorted video anyway. Hold, please. Bad. Well, we're not 100% out of the woods yet. So, here's what's going on. When it boots up, it goes to a question mark, and it stays there. Sorry, there's going to be flickering images and stuff. Look away if you're sensitive to that. It goes to the question mark, and then when I reboot the system, I don't know if this is just normal for Mac TVs, because I never had a working one, you get this weird pattern for a second as it reboots. But the blue SCSI light is solid, like the activity light is solid. And when you restart it, it's just hanging there. So it could be a bad SD card. I'll try another blue SCSI. I could just plug a hard drive into that slot of the Mac. But it's very weird that it was working 2 seconds ago on the bench, and then when I move it over to that system, it just doesn't want to go. But it could, I put pressure on the SCSI port when I was moving it, and I could have, adjusted something. But yeah, maybe the disk image is just sad. That SD card is like a cheapo one, so I'll replace it with one of the Micro Center ones I have when I get upstairs the next day, and I'll try and figure that out. But still call that a success. Yes, I still have your box of stuff. It's oh my gosh, that was 2022. Oh god, it's finally come to a close. You're telling me? You're telling me? There's only like a handful of machines I still have that are unfixable, and that was one of the naughty ones. So I am very happy and overjoyed to get that out of the way, because it's one of those things I want to give back to you so you can enjoy it. I want to see you do a video on it, please. The least I would love to see that. That'd be amazing. So I will try and clean that up. I don't even think that needs to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. It looks beautiful to me. I will spot check a little bit of things. I do want to put your original CUDA chip back on there just to make sure it works. Then I could know that my chip works. And get everything packed up and shipped back to you. I don't know if I could squeeze that in before VCF Midwest. I will try and get back to you as soon as possible. I do have to mail back this Mac SE30 board, so that I will be doing ASAP. And that still works, fingers crossed. But I passed the snooper test, so we're all good. But anyway, this has been going for 3 hours here. I think it's time to hit the old dusty trail there. My pal Justin D. Morgan, I believe, is still streaming. Yes, he is. And I'm going to be linking you all to that. Teamwork wins. Yeah, heck yeah, it does. There you go. And so you could join Justin's stream if you want. Maybe the audio issue and do chassis sense signal when the headphones are hooked up. Yeah, something like that, Thomas. There is a thread on Tinker Different. I'm going to link to it in the chat. If anybody wants to pour over the hot, beautiful schematic and take a look, there you go. You can reply to that thread. But yeah, that's about it. I am happy. And look at that. Guaranteed 100% errors 3 asterisks. Great job, Bruce. So you're streaming next? But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for everybody who's watching, who subscribed, who liked. For all the super chats, thank you so much. Apologies for the low output of content. I've just been working on a lot of stuff lately, so it's just something that I have not been able to do. But hopefully soon. So, yeah. Anyway, we have about 68 people here watching right now. Do me a big favor. My friend Justin D. Morgan is streaming. You may not be into PC stuff, but he's streaming something interesting. He's soldering stuff. I just put a link there. I'm going to pin it in the chat. Please go, just watch it. Maybe give him a subscribe if you like. And tell him Mac84 sent you. And I'll hop in there too. We'll watch together. How about that? But thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. Hopefully I'll have some cool stuff to show you real soon. And take care. Bye. Oh wait, I need to hit the end stream button. There it is.